Oh, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hungry Bleak podcast. I am Antonio Pomares, and as always, you're welcome. It's Friday. Made it to the end of the week, folks. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. It was a very fallish kind of week. Still had a little bit of that warm weather. Don't know what's going on with that, but hey, you know what? That's the world, unfortunately. Today, we're going to do something a little different. And I'm genuinely excited. Not that I'm not excited to come to you every week, but I'm excited about this one because, well, it's a difference for me. I'm not going to go through my usual spiel of everything that I talk about during the course of the week, or excuse me, during the course of every episode, but I will say that today I'm going to have a special guest. Now, this is very exciting to me because this is a gentleman that I have not interacted with. I think I may have interacted a couple of times on Instagram, but I don't think I've ever met him in person. So this is something new, something different for me. I like that. I like meeting and knowing about new creators. And they have a comic that, as many comics as I have on my Google Drive and my Comixology and the old Dark Horse app they used to have too. And I'm looking through all the comics on because I'm like, I know I've read the comic, and I didn't read the comic. And I kind of reveled in that. I didn't revel in it because of the fact that I didn't read it. I reveled in the fact that it's a new comic that I get to enjoy. It's a new company that I get to see grow and flourish and thrive. And it's a new creator that I get to look for on new comics. So that's kind of cool for me. I like that feeling. I like that new feeling is awesome. Not that I don't love the creators that I know and see all the time. It's great. I dig them. But someone new, that's perfect. So this gentleman, who I just found out is also from Jersey. I did not realize they were in Jersey as well. It's awesome. So let me welcome another Jersey Ian. New Jerseyers from Jersey. Don't even know what the hell we're called. New Jerseyers, New Jersey. I don't know what the hell. Who cares? Another cat from Jersey. This is Calvin Chambers of Icarus Metro Comics. Sir.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing today?
Welcome. Thank you for being here, sir. Much appreciated.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Do you know what we are called? Are we New Jerseyans, New Jerseyers, New Jerseyites?
I think they loop us in like tri-state folk.
Oh, really?
Those who aren't from New Jersey kind of say, "Oh, you're just from New York," you know.
You know what? That works for me too. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie, man.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Because honestly, when I travel, I just be like, "Oh, I'm just from New York," you know. I don't even want to explain the different parts of New Jersey. Nothing. So
I don't like. I'll just say from Jersey, and automatically everybody goes, "Oh, it's either close to New York, like Jersey City, or they think of like
Trenton,
South, Trenton, Newark, or like Jersey Shore."
Yeah.
But when they think of Jersey Shore, they think of like Tom's River, like that area where the show's actually from. I'm like, no, I'm not from. Just forget it. Let's just go get some pizza, and let's not even talk about this for real.
Or Jane Bob's, yeah.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Well, I was actually born in Red Bank, so yeah. So there you go. Yeah. I was born in Red Bank. I actually love Red Bank. That's like my bread and butter right there. Literally have great bread and butter too. Bagels are banging over there. So, sir, today we're going to be talking about your upcoming Kickstarter. So give me a brief history of Calvin Chambers and Icarus Metro Comics.
Whew. That's a big history, man.
And that's a deep one for you. All right.
It's I could shorten it.
Okay.
It could be long, but I could shorten it. All right. So let's just say almost like 5 years ago, I went to my first Comic-Con, Garden State Comic Fest, right?
Oh.
Didn't know that, Comic-Cons exist outside of New York and San Diego. I didn't think that people could just go to Comic-Cons. There were all these different cons. And then I kind of got just like thrown into the world. Going to different cons, I'm seeing people who made their own art. And I'm seeing all these comics being sold. I'm buying all these comics. It's literally like my first time actually buying comics, post-college. And I'm just like, wow, these are great stories. Huge fan of Marvel. I grew up on Justice League, Batman Beyond, X-Men Unlimited, all those different shows growing up. So, I knew the characters, but I didn't really know history behind some of these characters. So I started collecting. First appearances. I started collecting first editions. But then like my craving for comics like couldn't stop there because I had all these ideas in my head. Because I grew up writing like different stories, different DC comic fan fiction, just thinking of these different characters. And one day, a friend of mine, he had posted on Facebook. He said, "Yeah, I want to make a comic book," and I said, "Let's do it." From there, we created a company called Concord Comics, which is no longer a company anymore due to creative differences and stuff like that. But we had put out a comic book. We created a release event, sold out on the book, and and that was just like my first journey within comics. With that, it like stuck with me for a little bit. I went and I created a manga on Webtoon called Juice. So Juice is like the precursor to Icarus Metro comics. It happens years before. I kind of like created Icarus Metro comics as like a stopping point so that I know when I want the manga to end, so that I can always go back and create the prequel. That way that when I have Icarus Metro as a 10-story arc to let you know, like, okay, this is where the characters end up. This is like, it's ultimately a side story in the universe, but it's still a story to introduce everyone and introduce, kind of the lore within this Icarus universe. So fast forward, I actually thought of doing a comic, in like 2017, and things fell through. I got some artwork made. I got uninspired. So a couple years later, and like I said, there was a lot of huge gaps. A couple years later, a friend said to me, he said, "Hey, what happened to your stories? You haven't done the manga in a while. You haven't talked about writing anything." And I asked him one question. I said, "I can't really afford to put out a comic right now if I don't get any return for it." Right. I said, if I were to make a comic and put it on Kickstarter, would you back it? And he was like, "Yeah, I would back it." I said, "Okay." Now, I'm pretty sure those who are listening, my other creators who are listening, just getting the answer from one person and then going off and making a full 24-page comic, like, that's blind faith. Yeah, that is blind faith. I did take a big risk in doing this. But that just gave me the energy. It was during COVID. I didn't really have anything else to do. So I said, okay, let me just go and make this comic. So I went and I created and things evolve over time. I created an introduction, and then I create the story. Then I'm kind of like mapping things out as I go, how I want the ending to be. But I have an overall general consensus of like what I want this 10-issue arc to be. And of course, it was a 16-issue arc at first, but I said, hey, that's not possible. Like 16, what's that? 5-6 years? No.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I have other stories I want to put out too. So yeah, 2020 I created Icarus Metro Comics under my company, the Innovative Dream LLC, and I put out in March of 2021 Icarus Metro. Icarus Metro is a story following the group that's coming from my manga called the Paladins. Now, these Paladin members, each issue of Icarus Metro, there's 10 Paladin members, 10 founding Paladin members. So each issue would follow each of these characters. And you'll meet different characters, different villains, and learn about a lot of different things throughout this 10-issue arc. But you also get to experience, just a great story, a lot of plot twists, just a lot of emotions. Right now, I didn't really want to do a lot of emotions in the first issue. The character went through a lot of emotions, but I didn't want to make the reader bawl out in
Right.
the first issue. But as it progresses, just the build up, because me personally, I grew up on a lot of anime. And being that I grew up on a lot of anime, I love anime like Code Geass, Death Note, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, and they never start off strong, you know, with like the emotions. But as it builds up, as you start to like get involved, get engaged with these characters, when something crazy happens, you're like, it hits you. You're like, whoa, you know, like at the end of Death Note when Light Yagami, you know, he announces, yeah, I won. And then they're like, no, you didn't win. And he's running away, he's shot. And, you know, you feel that. Like, I remember when I first watched that, you know, I felt like I wasn't breathing. You know, it was like a shortness of breath because I was like, this guy, I watched his journey. Now I'm like,
because there's this tension and everything, and you're at that point where you think, because Death Note is one of the most like just heart pounding comics. I mean, even like from when you're watching him write, even on there, because it's not like a combat comic where like Dragon Ball Z would have you, and the way he's writing everything, you feel your heart is pounding. How is the person going to die? How is it? And the psychology of it as well.
Yeah.
So that definitely. See, now I got to rewatch that. Damn.
So that's what I'm trying to bring with my stories. Just the build up, just the tension, just to get the readers engaged, to build a fandom from it. I love writing. Icarus Metro issue 1 is about Simone Stone. Chose one of the females to be the protagonist for the first issue. One of the males, an Italian male, is the protagonist for the second issue. Third issue, so on. Like, you know, you'll be meeting each of these members from the team, the Paladins, each issue. So I'm never going. Well, okay. So let's just say for the third issue, if you read the second issue, you'll know who the protagonist is for the third issue. But
also kind of leads into
so every issue leads into.
Cool. All right.
So you'll definitely learn. Every issue leads into, and I'm thinking about it because I already have the outline for issue 4 and 5. So every issue leads into. Yeah,
which is nice because it has a nice kind of like it's loosely connected, like still connected but loosely connected, where it's almost like how you would have like backdoor pilots.
Yes.
For like TV shows like back in the day. So I love that feeling of it being a different one each time, but you still getting that connective story thread.
Yes.
I absolutely love that.
Like, for example, Icarus Metro 2 happens during the same time as Icarus Metro 1. So, but it's, you know, it's after a certain point in Icarus Metro 1 where it segues at the end into Icarus Metro 2. And everybody will see that, you know. Because I want to make sure that, you know, not only are you just getting a better understanding of what's happening, you're also understanding these characters and certain emotions that they can bring. For example, Simone Stone, protagonist of issue 1, is very closely connected to the protagonist of issue 2. And as that continues, you'll see the different relationships build and get a better understanding of who these characters are and why they do what they do. Because, you know, I don't know personally per se, like, if I'm going to make spin-offs for each of these characters because I'm making the prequel, but it's setting up the world. You get a better understanding of what's happening in the world, what type of entities are in the world, so that, you know, one day I'll be able to just say, hey, you know, let me throw out for the Kickstarter a teaser for another series, or let me provide a free 10-issue, free 10-page. I was
gonna say, damn, that's really good.
I don't want to promise that,
but that's a really good tier right there. Damn.
Let me do a free issue 0 for another series. You know, just the small little things that I could help just build what this universe is, you know, the Icarus universe. Because, you know, Icarus Metro, for example, it's kind of like the tri-state area. You know, it's Icarus City, Jade City, Alto City, and it's like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. You know, so that's what I'm trying to like build and replicate, like the ideologies and the formation of this book here kind of resembles these three cities. Is loosely based, you know, and I'll, you know, as I travel the world in my personal life, I'll be writing different stories about different places. So
I love the fact that you kept coming back to world and world building, because that's the most important thing about a comic, is that foundation, that world, and starting from there. Like, you have to know, you have to, like, when you're creating that story, you have to know not just the characters, but the actual world, like the literally the world, the cities, what have you, and the beings and entities, like you were saying. So that is a very key important thing that you just said right there, the world and world building and the universe.
So
I like that.
So, you know, what I love the most, and this is, I guess, what I love the most about Marvel movies, just, you know, and even DC and stuff like that, it's like team ups. I love interconnectivity. I love when, you know, you have this one story, and then like you remember when Batman appeared on Static Shock?
Yes.
Like stuff like that. Like when, you know, you got a different property and you got, you know, this here, and then they're both interconnected. And then you see an older Static Shock and Batman Beyond because they're connected with Batman animated series. So it's just like different things like that, like really inspired me to set this up in a certain way. And don't get me wrong, like I love anime, but they don't really have that because they don't really interconnect with other series like that unless they have the same creator.
Yeah.
Like I remember One Punch Man being on the Milk Box and Mob Psycho, you know, because they have the same creator. Yeah, because they have the same creator. Yeah.
That's hilarious to me.
You know, but I guess in terms of like appearances, this story could kind of resemble Bleach a little bit, you know. I was a huge Bleach fan growing up, and I liked how, you know, for example, you know, I don't want to spoil for those who haven't read the 1,000-Year War arc, the last arc for the manga that they're actually animating right now. But, you know, it took everybody to defeat the Espadas. You know, it took Grimjaw, it took Aizen, it took the Fullbring Masters, it took the, you know, the Espadas, you know, it took everybody to just like even give the Soul Society a chance to defeat the Espadas. Because of Ishigo's great grandfather or something like that. Yeah. So
I'm actually going through and rewatching Bleach now. I'm on like episode I think 40, so I know I got a ways to go.
Oh yeah. That's on Netflix, right?
No, well, I don't think all of them are on Hulu, I believe, but not Netflix. I think Netflix only has like up to maybe 60, maybe something like that.
Yeah, they have.
I don't think they have all of them, but Hulu has, I believe, all of them.
Yeah, they have on Netflix up to when Ishigo, right after Ishigo.
But they have the 2 movies too.
Yes, they have.
I don't think the movies are on Hulu, but I believe that they're on Netflix.
Well, they don't have all the movies, I don't think, because Hellverse is the 4th movie.
Oh yeah, so they've only got Netflix only has 2. I want to say.
Yeah, Fade to Black on Netflix is the 3rd movie. So there's 2 other movies that are missing.
Yeah,
but
but they do have the live action. So I guess that's a balance. I don't know.
Did you see that? What do you think about that?
You know what? I actually did like it because I'm a fan of it, and sometimes I like seeing it was better than Death Note. Death Note, I just couldn't get down with. I just couldn't. It just wasn't. It just didn't hit for me. But that one, I actually have to watch or finish watching the Full Metal Alchemist one.
Yeah, I didn't start that one yet.
Because that was kind of interesting to me. That was interesting to me.
That was my first manga. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to like ruin my taste with it. You know.
It actually, I mean, it's so hard to adapt an anime into live action to begin with, because you have a set, literal vision of what these characters look like. So to do it live action is really hard to do. I haven't watched the Rurouni Kenshin one. I haven't watched those yet.
That's the best one.
I've heard those are great, but Netflix only has 2
of them, and
they had the first one on there.
Yeah.
At one time they did. There's 5. I thought there were only
There's 5 of
4.
them. So there is the 2 that's on Netflix. Those are the most recent that are made.
Yeah, yeah,
But the original 3, I remember them being out like years ago. I saw them
that
in like
was
2015, but they were
yeah.
made by a different company.
Because I know the first one was on there at one time, and when I was about to watch it, it was gone. So I figured, oh, they're making this other one is gonna be on there. It's not on there. I was like, all right, so I guess I could just watch the prequel honestly, because it's more like oh, what was that prequel series that they did? Samurai X.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Samurai
Yeah,
X, yeah.
yeah
So
that's
I
what that's
honestly
what it
could watch that and
is.
just enjoy that, because I actually like that more adult, serious version
Mhm.
of Kenshin, when he was actually the
The
manslayer.
Tokai, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So see, now you're getting me all like I think about anime and everything. I'm starting
no,
like,
it's all
damn,
good.
I need
Because
I need to go back.
I was actually going to lead into like for Icarus Metro Comics,
Mm-hmm.
that's ultimately my end goal. Like right now, I am idealizing and getting stuff situated for the prequel manga. Just
Mm-hmm.
kind of going to host it on Webtoons, and I'm trying to figure out what like a good schedule is and a good marketing plan to get it out there to the readers. Because before, when I was consistent with it, I had about 14K readers,
Okay.
and
Ooh.
that was really good. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like when you learn a craft, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it, and then people aren't going to really see what you're doing anymore. So I'm working with an animator in Spain, Osar Animation, and he's actually doing the character designs for the new character designs for the characters, and he actually did the animation for our Kickstarter trailer. So ultimately, one of the goals that I'm hopefully can reach by 2023 is to start in the conceptual stages, a plan to have a animated film,
Okay.
based off of the Icarus Metro characters. Simple My Hero style, one-off villain type,
Mm-hmm.
film, that I could put out there for people to, watch, enjoy, and basically just get involved with. So that's what I want to move into eventually. But yeah, this here is the start.
Well, speaking of the start, your Kickstarter is going to be going live. Was it November 2nd?
November 3rd.
3rd, excuse me, 3rd.
Yep.
Yes, 3rd. Which, folks, as always, I'm always trying to like make sure that you have the link. The link is in the episode description.
Mhm.
You can go check out. Actually, all of the Icarus Metro links are in the description,
Mhm.
but at the top is the link for if you click on it, you'll be notified of when the Kickstarter goes live. So tell us about the Kickstarter.
Okay. So this is my second Kickstarter.
Mhm.
This Kickstarter, Icarus Metro 2. This Kickstarter will, basically give you a lot more than I was able to provide for the first Kickstarter. First Kickstarter, learning the ropes, understanding Kickstarter fees, learning, vendor fees for certain supplies. So
Right.
we're actually going to be, having as tiers, um, streetwear shirts,
Mm.
beanies, neck masks. We're going to have magnet postcards. We're
Oh.
going to have a bunch of stretch goals. I'm not going to announce the stretch goals yet, but when we get there, because the current goal is 2,500, when we get there, then
Mm-hmm.
we're going to start announcing the stretch goals, which is nice juicy stretch goals, maybe a new cover, maybe some new art within the book.
Okay.
We currently have 3 covers. We have cover A, which is currently displayed on our Instagram. We are releasing cover B on Sunday, and we are releasing the exclusive cover, which is a front to back cover, right before the Kickstarter. So,
Mm.
that'll be something new that you guys will be able to see. And, so we have 3 different covers, just like Icarus Metro 1. We have 2 Funko Pop this time. First Funko Pop is about viscosity. The second Funko Pop is for a character called Catalyst, who you'll meet within this issue. So
Mm-hmm.
total, Icarus Metro brand, we got about 3 Funko Pops made by Viet. So everybody in any community, they know Viet. Great Funko Pop master and maker. Um, What else do we have? We have a couple of different prints. Those prints to be signed by myself or not signed, depending on what you want. We will have yeah, I think there are a few more things I'm really drawing a blank about, but they'll definitely be on the Kickstarter. And plus, with the stretch goals, we have more opportunities for trading cards, magnets, and other different swag items that you'll be able to have. So yeah, this is Icarus Metro 2. This is our Kickstarter. Icarus Metro 3, we're planning to expand it a little bit more because there will be a bigger book. But when that time comes next year, we'll definitely be able to provide you and continue to provide you a lot more stuff regarding the Icarus Metro brand.
Well, that's awesome. Anyone's watching, you can see I brought up the screen for the notification page for the Kickstarters, what it looks like. For Icarus Metro 1 and 2, an aggressive action drama series. I love aggressive action. I love that grouping of words.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're getting the drama, but you're also getting that action feeling. So it's nice.
Yes.
Blend of both, let's say.
Yeah. I definitely want people to know that, not only you getting some type of drama, some type of internal conflict, but you're also getting a lot of fight scenes.
Right. And just to always let people know, because some people don't know how Kickstarter works exactly. It's basically crowdfunding. But the beautiful thing about it is that, say if, you're a little low that week and you want to pledge, you can pledge that week and it doesn't take it out automatically.
Yeah.
It takes it out when the project is funded and it ends. So it's not going to take. So if you pledge on Tuesday, it's not going to take it off that Tuesday. That's only going to take it off when you pledge. So you can go ahead and pledge and feel confident in it. It's not going to mess you up that week. You're good. Don't worry about it. It's not going to be till later. And there are always great tiers, and the add-on. I love the fact of having add-ons to the tiers.
Yep.
That's one of the biggest things to me, because I've been, especially during the pandemic, I know Kickstarters have been just being funded left and right, which I love.
Left and right. Yep.
I love seeing, like, sometimes I'm annoyed by all the Kickstarters. I'm like, all right, I pledged to it. I've seen it. But then I'm like, you know what? I do love the fact that they're being pledged like that it's happening so quickly, so often. Some are being funded within an hour.
Yeah.
And the pledge that you get, it's when I'm seeing more add-ons lately, and you're able to customize. So if you go for tier 7, what have you, and you don't see something that you like, a lot of times when you click on to pledge to it, they'll have that item and it'll say sticker, keychain, hat, t-shirt.
Yep.
Poster, what have you. So there are lots of different ways that you can go, and the stretch goals are that just pushes you to go. I want people to see this more, because I want that. I want that in the stretch goal. I want that cover, or that whatever it is. And stretch goals are always a beautiful thing too. They're like bonus add-ons if you go and share and say, hey, there's a comic coming out. I want you to go check it out. They pledge. You're getting closer to it. So it's a beautiful thing to have this crowdfunding for especially indie creators.
Yep. And it's very interesting that you say that, because I do find that one of the biggest issues with crowdfunding is like the marketing. A lot of us indie creators, we do other things in life. We have families, we have different things that we got to attend to for the day to day. But the goal ultimately is to expand the outreach to as many people as possible. And to do that, you have to be online, you have to be active, you have to, carry out certain things. So with that, you are always moving. You're always trying to get someone to see your content, because not everybody's going to pledge. And don't get me wrong, Kickstarters aren't expensive. And it also depends on what you want for your money. For example, I know the lowest tier on Icarus Metro 2 is $5 tier. And with the $5 tier, you'll be able to get the digital issue of Icarus 2 and just a digital issue. Now, as you go higher with $12, you'll be able to get the physical copy, and you'll be able to get some digital items, and so on. The $50, you'll be able to get the streetwear shirt, all 3 covers, and some prints. and stickers. So you know as you raise the tier, you'll be able to get more items. But this doesn't mean that you can't get the book. Because the book is $5, and as you grow, the physical book is $12.
Right.
So for those who are watching and feel like in some cases it may be a little much, don't worry. We've definitely lowered the prices a lot more than our last Kickstarter.
Sometimes you have to just see where you're at, because it was because that was your first Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to see where you're at, and then you play it by ear the next time because you have a better feel for it.
Yeah.
With each one you just get better, and the product just gets out there more. And having those wonderful, like, affordable tiers where you can go, what, the digital is fine for me because I don't have space. I got this huge pile already, and on my book page, it's great. I got my tablet, which is wonderful things. But if you're a collector and you want that T-shirt, you want the hat, what have you, there are tiers that can accommodate not just your pockets but also your needs, and that's the beautiful thing about Kickstarters.
Yep.
And say if you want to help fund it, but you don't want the comic. A lot of times there are tiers where you can just pledge, and not get anything.
Yeah,
which will still work for you as well. Kickstarters are so accommodating for whatever you can afford, whatever you want, or whatever you don't want.
Yep, that's true.
It's a beautiful thing, honestly.
True.
It's just the way that it's evolved over the last 2 years or so. Is amazing. Like, I've never pledged so many times for I forget that I have things coming.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you.
I read a lot of the physicals. When I pledge, the physicals I get a chance to read because it's right there. I read it, then I store it away. But the digitals, if I see a creator and I like their work and I pledge the digital, it's sometimes hard to get around to the digitals.
You know what? I'm the opposite. I get the physical just so I can have it as like a just something there. But I read the digital because I don't want to mess up the physical. And it's easier for me to grab my tablet and just surf through.
Oh, okay. So you're reading on the tablet. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I'm half and half.
Okay.
Most of my comics are on my tablet, but like I said, I still get the prints. I don't like to read singles. I think because
what do you mean singles?
Like the single issues. Like I'll read a trade print, but not singles.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't know why. I feel like I'm gonna ruin it. I feel like I'm gonna just tear it somehow because it's so small. So I'll read in print. So I'll read the trades. It's just much easier for me. Singles, I'll read on my tablet continuously, but I'll still have that print single just as the thing, especially if it's been signed such like that. It just it has something for me. You know what I mean? It's something that I like to just have there. Maybe that's like a kind of a lower tier collector thing. I don't know, because I'm not a collector myself. I don't see myself as one, but yeah, I'm the exact opposite. I'll go to the tablet. It's much easier to surf through than for me to go, where's that issue number 5? The hell is, it's just easier for me. But either way, I'm getting the print and I'm getting the digital. That's just it.
Okay.
Because I want it and I wants to get it. That's the end. So with your work and this being the second issue of Icarus Metro, when you look ahead to what you want to do, when you were talking about the animated film and webtoons, everything like that, because you have a vision of what you want to do.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing. What do you feel is going to be your legacy? Like, what do you want people to take away from your work?
See, it's funny. At first, I thought you were going to say, what do you think is going to be your biggest challenge? I was going to say patience.
No, look, Kickstarters. I've seen people losing it. Like, look, I've seen people do like blooper videos with their video trying to promote. They're like, oh, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing these takes, man. I can't.
All these takes, all these different videos, all these different content you're putting out. Content. It's like I tweeted today. I was like, you know, I'm trying to get this market out for this Kickstarter. You know, sign up for the link. I'm going to be tweeting a lot these next couple of weeks. Don't unfollow me. You know?
Because it can be bothersome too, because I'm like, okay, well, but then I go, look, you know what? If you pledge, great. If you haven't pledged, maybe you'll go, oh, you know what? I forgot to pledge. I'll get, or maybe you pledge, you know, I pledge, I like it. Let me share this.
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing you can do is put it out and someone goes, okay, and they just scroll past it. Don't unfollow them. Please don't unfollow them, because it'll mess up the algorithm somehow.
Yeah.
Just don't unfollow them, but just scroll down it, or, you know, share it.
You never know what's going to happen one day. But in terms of my legacy, so yeah, I talk about the animated film that I want to do eventually. I'm talking about the manga, the webtoon that I'm trying to create right now. You know, that's all in conceptual stages. In terms of the legacy, I want to. My ultimate goal of writing is to provide content for people to just enjoy themselves. I don't care. I mean, like I don't care like what type of. I wanted to leave an impact. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wanted to leave I wanted to give people a sense of belonging, a sense of like give them an escape. I want to make people happy. I want to make people smile. Just to like leave you a story. I did PoochieCon, right? I did PoochieCon in Atlantic City, New Jersey. It was on August 28th, August 29th. And on August 28th, two young girls, they came up to my booth and they're like, hey, you know, what's this? This is that. Told them about Icarus Metro, told them about the character, and they both bought a book, right? Both bought a book. Next day, August 29th, I'm sitting in the booth in a different area because they, you know, shifting people around in this con. And I didn't recognize the girls because they were wearing different cosplays, but they came by and they were just looking at the table, looking at the content. And that also made me think like, all right, I got one book out. You know, you got people coming by. They want to see multiple books. They want to see multiple content. Let me keep creating. But, you know, they were just talking by and I went through my whole spiel, tried to tell them about Icarus Metro and stuff. And they're like, oh, you know, we were here yesterday. We bought the book. And I'm like, oh, well, why you, in my head, I'm like, why are you here again? You know, but they told me that, you know, that they loved it so far. They were like, you know, a couple pages in, like or half the book in. They loved it so far. The character resonates with them. You know, that, you know, they love the story so far, this is that. And that ultimately that gave me like more inspiration to just keep creating. And, you know, and that's why I said that patience was like my hardest challenge, because, you know, I can't just throw all the money into making these comics and not pay my bills, you know?
Exactly.
So, you know,
it's that balance.
It's the balance. But like that type of impact is what I'm trying to leave on the world. I'm trying to create these characters so people can find themselves within the characters. I'm trying to create this world where people can just enjoy, escape to, think about the different possibilities. Like, for example, if we look at the story of Naruto and the story of Boruto. Naruto follows the story of Naruto, right? Boruto follows the story of Boruto, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, you know, all these other different characters stemming from the first story. But we don't really get to see all the other different things in the world. What story besides One Piece do you really get to see all the other different things that happens in that world to other characters, you know? So like bringing a universe like that, you know, although starting off small, because I don't have the backing of like a Viz or like a Toei or anything like that, you know, creating this one, basically Icarus Metro is like a pilot. Creating this pilot.
That's a good way to think of it.
I could like, you know, that way I can just create different other series that are canon and happen, you know, simultaneously, but also creating this big expansion of a universe that I may be, you know, and I'm probably gonna be doing for the rest of my life, to be honest. I mean, like for example, Stan Lee, you know, he made they started Marvel, well, they started Atlas in like what, the 1940s?
think so. Yeah.
1940s time period. And then like they didn't stop. They just continuing. Now we have the MCU, started off with Blade, it started off with Spider-Man. We have all these different characters because of someone's devotion to put in the time and effort over the span of 65 something years, We got Charleston Comics, back in the day, 1940s, Blue Beetle, now part of DC, Superman, all these other different things. It doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't. Now we have HBO Max that caters to DC. We have Disney Plus that caters to Marvel. We have Amazon Prime that caters to
Whoever.
Rainbow, whoever, Rainbow Siege,
Whoever.
all these other different stories. We got these video games that are now getting shows. We got these books that are getting a Netflix movie every month, So it's, this journey for me personally, the legacy, the impact that I'm trying to leave, I know it's not going to happen overnight. But I do know that I do want people to primarily just enjoy, just enjoy the ride I'm trying to take them on.
That's great. And you have to, it starts every journey. They say every journey starts with one step.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it is. You have to, and you just have to keep going. You have to keep going.
And it's
sometimes there will be times when you're like, oof, I can't, I'm done. What have you. But to be a creative in this day and age, in 2021/2022, because we're getting there. It's getting kind of close.
And it's tough. It's tough because
it's tough to be out there trying to do that. Also balance your life, because as you were saying, a lot of creatives, they can't just go, well, I'm not going to do that day job anymore. This is what I'm doing. It doesn't start that way. You have to build up one fan, 2 fans, 3 fans, 4, however many, and get to a point, and you can still be pushing out the content. You still got to have that day job. You still have to be with your family. You have to still do all these things. You have to have that balance of life and work and your passion, this thing that you would like to possibly do for the rest of your life and make a nice living out of it, where you can just go, where you wake up and you go, all right, cool. You don't have to go over, punch a time clock. You don't have to do this. You just go right to your office, your desk, your laptop, wherever it is, you do your thing and start the day.
Now, see, I agree with that in wholeheartedly, but how I wish that I was an artist myself instead of just a writer. I wish, because if I was an artist, oh man, I'd be like, for one, I never have a social life. If I was an artist on like DC Marvel level, not even DC Marvel level, just like even an anime level, never leave the house. I wouldn't get married. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I wouldn't drink no alcohol. I wouldn't do nothing, I'd be sitting down, taking commissions and writing my own stories and drawing my own stories. Then the only time you see me is conventions. I'll be like Oda. Only time you see me, I'll be doing conventions. I wouldn't be doing nothing, just getting those stories out there.
Look, I cannot, like, I've seen, writers and artists and such like that, and the artists they'll be up at like, whatever, time at night, because something hit them, because something may have hit them, and they're like, you know what, let me get in. And when they get in that groove, it's a wrap, and they're up late. Nobody else is up late, so they might do like a live at that point just to show like the work in progress. Which I love seeing works in progress. I love seeing where it started to where it's at, and seeing pieces that they were like, well, I like this, but it didn't go with the rest of the story. But it looks incredible, but it didn't go with what they were trying to do with the story and the character, which I understand. That's part of storytelling, is the visual along with the written word.
Yeah. Now they have a big community for that on Twitch. That's why I mostly watch it now. But because I saw it a couple of years ago on Facebook, but I haven't really seen people, do their live sessions on Facebook during their drawing.
Yeah,
but
Facebook now.
A lot of people overseas doing a lot of lives on Twitch.
Like I've seen a lot of people, like most of the people that I think I see on Twitch are like either overseas or they're on like the West Coast, so it's a different time
Yeah,
altogether. So it's midnight here, it's 9 o'clock there.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But they're doing it, and you can just sit back and just either listen to them, like maybe talk about something, or just watch them do what they do, what have you. It'd be like Twitch was one of those things that when I started watching Twitch, I started watching it for like game streams and just enjoyed it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Then Then I just started like poking around, see what people are doing and artists and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it's a beautiful thing. Now, being a part of the geek community and such like that and geek culture, what do you feel is like one of the biggest issues in the geek culture? And the second part of the question is, what what will you do, or what are you doing to try and remedy that issue? And it can be business
Um,
wise, it can be community wise. Like I've heard answers, and
I
I'm
feel
like,
like
these are all valid.
the biggest issue in the geek community, to be honest, in today's climate, um, because this ultimately didn't
Excuse
stem,
me.
like when I grew up, this wasn't even an issue because the geek community was very exclusive.
Mm,
No, when I grew up, the geek community is very exclusive. Not everybody was into Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. We had our certain cliques. We got made fun of.
hmm
So we just, we kept to ourselves, you know. Um, but now that it is a free for all,
Hot.
yeah, it's
It's
hot.
hot
It's
now.
the in. All the clothes, all the streetwear, the designs, like
hmm
everything is anime inspired. We have
hmm
Rihanna walking around New York City with a Marvel, with a Marvel encyclopedia.
Yeah.
We have
It's a
other,
beautiful golden age, man. I
yeah,
love
like
it. I
we
love it,
have
baby. I love it.
all these people that are just like inspired by it now.
hmm
But I do feel like the biggest challenge we face right now is acceptance. It's acceptance. People have their own take on anime characters, cosplay,
Mm.
art, stories, but a lot of people just we tend to have our own derivatives, our own opinions off of how the story is supposed to be represented.
The
Um,
purist, let's say
yes,
the purist. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, we also don't know what is the inspiration behind some of these stories. Masashi
It's true.
Kishimoto, Oda, Akira Toriyama. They don't do interviews where they just go and talk about like why they made Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, and different things like that. They don't really talk about that, but we have our own interpretation. And if someone goes against that interpretation, we can't accept that they have their own opinion.
hmm
You know, and that causes a lot of conflict, especially online. It's like a giant book club.
Yeah.
Everybody, wants to argue who's right, who's wrong. Oh, this cosplayer can't cosplay a black Naruto. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't look good. Let's ban them. You
hmm
just people aren't
There's
very,
gatekeepers, that
yeah.
gatekeeping kind of
Everybody wants
mentality.
to gatekeep.
Sad.
They can't accept that people want to do their own thing.
hmm
They want to do their own thing. They want to represent the character in a way that they feel is best suited for the character. Um, you know, Everybody, screams about, for example, what's a good example for a character? Oh, everybody screams, Sakura's trash, Sakura's trash, Sakura's trash. I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but I don't think Sakura's trash. You know,
You're not
I
the only
feel like,
person I've heard say that.
yeah, but
Mhm.
but but like I feel like everybody, that was just like one person said it, and then everybody's just sheep, just
hmm
following that statement. You know,
Just jumped onto the
yeah,
statement for no reason, and not being able to form your own opinion and
yeah,
just
but
enjoy
she
it.
she actually, led to a lot of character development for Naruto, a lot of character development for Sasuke, saved Naruto's life in the war, was able to keep up with them. Of course, she doesn't have the Night Tail, she doesn't have the Sharingan or the Rinnegan, but
hmm
in her own right, she was just like another Tsunade.
hmm
And Tsunade couldn't match Jiraiya or Orochimaru, you know. So I mean, ultimately, you can just say Tsunade's trash, but you're not going to say Tsunade's trash. You're just going to yell at Sakura because of her personality and lying and thirst over someone who didn't really like them, you know.
Right.
So like I said, I just feel like acceptance, people just having their own mindset and just doing their own thing. People aren't really accepting of it, you know. And this ties into like us, you know, creators, because of the fact that we are new, right? We are new entities. We are new properties. We are new comics. We're new podcasts. We are new stories. We're new narratives. You know, for someone to give us a chance, they have to put eyes on our content and listen to our content.
Right.
But if they're not putting eyes to our content and just giving it a glance and then just moving on, they're not really accepting, okay, this is something new. This is something new that they're trying to create, that they're trying to bring forth. What type of impact could this have on us? You know, what kind is this story good? They see a comic and they're like, oh, it's just a comic book. But they don't really know that, you know, this comic could be a precursor to something great. You just have to give it a chance. You have to accept it. I'm trying to think of a good example for that of this too. It's no, not even a good example. Two things that I've noticed: people in today's age, we have short attention spans. Extremely short attention spans.
And it has to be instantaneous. It has to be now. Now. If it's not now, then it's yesterday.
That's the only reason why TikTok is booming. TikTok. The only reason why it's booming. You know, you see a TikTok, right? If it doesn't interest you within the 5-10 seconds, you're going to swipe up.
Yeah.
You're going to keep swiping up. And if it interests you, you're going to watch it. But that's our attention span, you know? People need that content to just stick at them, you know? And if you don't get the content that sticks at them, you know, then they're going to just keep moving on. And it's a shame people that it's like that. And it's like, for example, you know, why, you know, maybe I don't know their marketing tactics, but like I see DC and Marvel putting out a lot of the same characters in for headlines of stories. You know, I see a lot of Batman, I see a lot of Catwoman, I see a lot of Justice League, I see a lot of Iron Man, you know, Captain America, just like the same heroes that is currently going on. And I'm pretty sure this is a marketing tactic because they're in the movies now. You know, that's what's going on. That's what's hot. But it's not giving like a fresh perspective of different characters. You know, you're not giving these other characters a chance because people aren't really accepting of these other characters because they want to get the mainstream. They want to get what's in the movies. They want to, the kids want to see, oh, I just want to see Batman and Superman. Oh, I just want to see Justice League. I want to see Wonder Woman. I want to see Harley Quinn. That's a big one now. You know, I want to see Harley Quinn. Like, for example, you know, and I can, all right, let me stop. I can go on forever. Let me stop. I can go on forever about this. But that's just my take. I can definitely go on forever. Because I was just about to talk about like, you know, Superman coming out as bisexual. I think it's his son or something.
Yeah, this is John Kent.
Yeah, or Harley Quinn coming out with a relationship with Poison Ivy. You know, a lot of people aren't accepting of different things like that because they haven't really, you know, given it a shot.
Yeah, well, they want it to be they're always looking for their franchise players.
Yeah,
let's say those iconic players, and I can't be mad at them because those are someone said once you could go in the deepest like jungles of Brazil and you could find someone who knows who Superman is. They will never have read the comic, but they'll have a t-shirt on that has the S.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually really true because that's how systemic like that the thought process is. I mean, they are doing better now with who they're getting as far as creators, the writers and artists. I mean, Milestone is, to be getting an animated movie at a Milestone.
Yeah.
I never would have thought of that. I never would have been like, wait, what? Hold on. To have one of my favorite writers, Brandon Thomas, writing it, and for them to be doing a live action static is great. Nubia and the Amazons came out this week.
Yes.
And to have Stephanie Williams, who is an incredible writer, and Vita Ayala, who is like all praise Vita. I like when they're on something, my eyes automatically dart to it. So they're getting better with it because they've got to make it's those creators that they have. It's not just the characters on the page, but it's the hands that are touching the pages too. That's one of the key things. And the people who are hiring the people that are putting their hands on the page. Those are the important things, so we can break that system of gatekeeping, where there's not even a gate. Being a gatekeeper is like being a bouncer to a public park.
Yep.
Like, everybody can be here, but why are you trying to tell people, well, if you want to get in,
what they can like and what they can't like?
Yeah. So what type of tree is the most prevalent tree in this park? You're like, I don't know. What are you? It's
or what
a park.
or what that tree symbolized when you can have your own. Yeah.
When did they fertilize the? Like, are you serious? Dude, move. Try and have a picnic. Just move, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's that type of mentality. So it's, it just, I've spoken about it before. It gives me a headache because it makes no damn sense. It's like being a bouncer at a club and nobody hired you. Like, it's just like,
Yep. Like, who gave you your credentials? You know what I mean?
Why are you standing at the door? Why are you, dude? It's free to get in. What are you doing?
Like, I'm not trying to pick a fight with you. Why are you trying to argue with me?
It's all ages. I don't even need to show you my ID. It's just, people out there, they really, sometimes they take things too far, and I'm just like, you just gotta, you know, Rent's still doing it first, right? You got to calm down, bro. You gotta calm down. Just enjoy it. If you don't dig it, don't listen to it, don't read it, don't watch it. It's as simple as that. And if you like hate watch or hate listen or hate read, you know, you're just making it more, but then I guess it gives you something more to live for because you can complain about it more. It's this weird cycle. I don't, what have you. Let's talk about something more positive. Okay. Got two more questions for you. One is, what are three of your favorite properties? This is always hard for anybody. This is always hard. It could be a TV show, an anime, obviously. It could be, movie series.
One Piece, Code Geass, and Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. Who's your favorite in a Dragon Ball Z? There's no wrong answer.
No, I know, but I'm not just trying to say Goku, because
Goku would not be my first answer.
Everybody would say Goku, I would say Goku too, but I don't like the way they nerfed both Gohan and Trunks because they became popular. So I say Vegeta.
That's my answer, between Vegeta and Trunks. First time, I always loved, and this was like really just great storytelling, even without telling story. In the beginning, when they would do Piccolo was on his own level, so he's default there, like he's automatically there. When they would have the opening, and then all the characters would be like in the standing there, and Untitled would be there. The way Trunks would always be looking at Vegeta before you knew who Trunks was.
Yeah,
you were like, why is he looking at him? So I always loved it. And then when I found out who Trunks was, I was like, I didn't, because he's always standing there, and I'm like, first of all, why does he have a sword? Ain't nobody else got a sword. Why does he have a sword? He's just standing there, he's looking at him real hard, and I'm like, why is he? So yeah, that just always hit. But Vegeta was always that. Vegeta for me is one of those cats. I'm a huge Hiei fan.
Okay.
And there's an anime. I like short anime characters with big foreheads. I don't know why. On Netflix called oh my god, Be the Beginning.
I heard of that. I didn't see it yet.
It's kind of a weird, like, you don't know if it's supernatural, serial killer kind of thing vibe, but there's a character that's called the Black Wing King.
Okay.
And a similar character. I have because I'm short and I have a big forehead. So I think that's one of the reasons why I vibe with them, but also their determination to be the strongest, even though they're already probably stronger than the other character, that lead character, but it's just because of their attitude of being more positive, maybe, is what gives them that little edge. I know, but those have always been my favorites, like especially Hiei. Hiei is just, and the fact that he throws shade at everybody. He just does not care. He's like the prince of Yu Yu Hakusho. He sits there drinking tea, just showing shade, and then he just walks off. I just like all day.
He's always been a dope character in Yu Yu Hakusho. I think my favorite character in Yu Yu Hakusho has to be Kuwabara, though.
Kuwabara he's one of the best because he comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
With the most random stuff. It's
like I liked his character development, like, and his just his personality. He's cool cat. misunderstood,
Yeah.
ever growing,
And he literally loves cats. Like he
Yeah,
literally loves cats. Like that, like seeing this kid, he's a huge kid who does not look like he's like 15 or whatever.
yeah,
That's a grown ass adult. He got a mortgage. He got like child care
yep,
payments. He got everything with the like orange red hair and like the and just being this big cat, this big guy, but then having this cat that he's like loving and everything like that, and the ability to have like the sword, like the energy sword, just he just and seeing his character development too, when the sword breaks during the dark tournament and he's able to actually just show that he actually has the power to do it.
mm,
And stuff like that was just really cool to me. I'm actually in the middle of watching the dark. Actually, no, I just finished the dark tournament and again. But I'm rewatching Bleach and I'm rewatching Yu Hakusho. Thank you, Hulu.
okay, yeah,
All right, so last question. This is one of the most hard hitting questions out there, but I'm going to ask the tough questions because
okay,
that's what we do.
okay.
Okay, this is the type of question that can ruin relationships. This has divided America for years, but I need to
What,
ask
what,
this
what,
question.
what question is this, man?
What are you having for dinner tonight?
Dinner.
What's going
Oh
on,
man,
man?
what am I having for dinner tonight?
And there's no wrong answer. I've had people say chips, a smoothie, and I'm not mad at them.
So I'm having the same thing I had for breakfast. Now this is strange.
Okay, hit me.
Salmon and broccoli.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, just getting that protein in. Trying to flex a little bit. 2022.
That sound now is it like salmon that you have like in pouches? Is it just like salmon steak? Like what type of
So it's
salmon
like
you going with?
so I bought the salmon from grocery store.
Okay.
Cooked it up, food prepped it, and cooked up the broccoli and stuff, and have them in a bowl, and just gonna put some hot sauce on it, devour it for dinner. Drink some water. Trying to
Well, that might be my ticket because you know what? I have like some salmon pouches.
yeah.
I might get that. I have some just egg. I might put it in there because I
Mhm.
try to do like a lot of plant based, but I still do eat meat sometimes.
Yeah, I'm
And
trying to eat as much pescatarian as possible.
yeah,
But I did have chicken last night, so I did actually just made some chicken wings.
I'm bruh,
I made some chicken. I made
bruh.
put them in the air fryer, man. Man,
You can't go wrong with wings, though. I mean, there's
yeah,
something. Look, chicken is magical. I don't care what nobody says.
yeah,
Chicken is magical. Sometimes I do feel bad, but then I'm like, it's magical. I don't know what
yeah.
y'all
You can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
season it right and it's on point.
Oh yeah, they got this seasoning called slap your mama seasoning.
Yes,
Put that on it.
I have heard of it, but I haven't tried. I keep forgetting
Mm,
to like even get it because I don't think of it until somebody says it because name is so damn funny. To be
mm.
honest with you. All right, so it's that time. Can I talk to y'all for a minute? Can you just come in for a huddle? Huddle. Not that close. Y'all too close. Back up. Social distancing. Where's your mask at? Wash your hands. So I want to talk about spoilers for a minute. This is a big weekend. Well, actually, the last couple weekends have been big weekends. Yesterday we had the new Dune came out, which is awesome. This week we also had the season finale of Titans. We got the third season of You. The second season of Lock and Key actually came out today on Netflix.
Okay.
And there are a plethora of other things that are coming out or that have been out. So we've got a lot of great content out there. But spoilers. I know. They're annoying to everyone. We hate them. But I'm of two minds, and listen to me, please listen to me. What I'm going to say does make sense. I'm of two minds. One, stop spoiling stuff. Why? Why do you need to talk about it the minute it just came out? Why are you releasing a breakdown trailer when it just came out? Stop. We know what happened in the trailer. We don't need all that. Stop it. Calm down. Gonna be all right. You don't need to come out like that 5 minutes after you watch. Oh my god, this is great. And don't say, oh, spoilers in the comments. Y'all know we can still see the comments previewed on Facebook, right? Y'all do know that, correct? And stop doing here's a picture out of context spoiler. We can still figure it out. Stop it. There are groups for that, private groups where you can go into, or you can have your private chats. That's cool. I'm not mad at that, but stop just throwing it out there. That's one thought that I do have. The second thought is if something new comes out, something that's hot, and you want to watch it, don't go on social media for about a week. Stay, especially Facebook and Twitter, stay off of them. Stay off them because they're going to ruin it for you. And then you're going to be mad. I want you to enjoy what you're about to see. So my advice is stay off of it for about a week, 2 weeks possibly, depending on when your work schedule can go through. Things are a little bit better nowadays because we have a lot of stuff on the streaming services. So you can watch it on the streaming service at home. You ain't got to wait for a ticket and go to AMC or whatever your theater is, what have you. It's cool. Or watch the whole season of a show, what have you. But stay off of it. You might be due for a break anyway. It's good to take breaks from social media because the stuff is going to make you just mad. And then you mad because somebody said something that you didn't like on the show and they spoiled something, this, what have you. And yes, I am with you. Some of the spoiling stuff is ridiculous. Why do you need to do it? But take a break from that week. And I know you're going to say, well, I shouldn't have to. No, you shouldn't have to. But the ramifications are that it's going to spoil for you. I hate it. I apologize. I know it sucks. It does. That person A is going to spoil it for person B. I don't know what to tell you. This fight has been going on for, I feel, generation. I feel like there were things that were spoiled in tablets on, like, I feel like the 10 Commandments, we were put on a tablet, it was a spoiler, and people was mad about the bush being burned. They was like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? I don't know what to tell you, folks, but just let it go. Don't go on social media. Give yourself a week. Relax. Have some hot tea. The fall weather's coming out. Go pick some apples. Go get a pumpkin, something like that. Get some of that fresh air. Get some of that fall crisp air. Step on some crunchy leaves. Helps you feel better. Helps you sleep better at night. And if you just spoiling something just because you're spoiling it, then you're a jerk. I don't know what to tell you. That's it. But that's just my bleak perspective. I don't know what to tell you. That Capri Sun hit different when you got HBO Max and you can watch Dune at home without having to babysit with nobody. All right. So on that note, as always, folks, are you with me? I think you are with me. I want to thank my guest today, Calvin Chambers. Sir, thank you so very much for talking to us about Icarus Metro comics and everything that is involved in that world. Like I said, folks, I have the links, excuse me, in the episode description where you can be notified when the Kickstarter starts. It is going to be on November 3rd. That's what, less than 2 weeks away, I want to say?
Yeah, about a week and a half away.
Yeah, because the first is on a Monday, which is
it's a Wednesday.
Awkward, which is great. But I also have the links there for the actual website. They got on the website, I believe there was a t-shirt, there was a beanie, there was another piece of article clothing. I forgot. Mask. Thank you. There was a mask. Again, social distancing, cover your mouth, coughing. No. We don't need that. All right. Links are there. The link, excuse me, for the Twitter, for the Instagram, they're all there, folks. Go check out Icarus Metro Comics. And tonight, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be on my tablet. I'm going to open up like this. I'm going to swipe. Well, I'm going to swipe again. And I'm going to get me some of this Metro. All right.
Right.
So thank you once again, Calvin. Appreciate you so much for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video.
Thank you if you're watching the video. Thank you if you're watching on YouTube or on Twitch. I appreciate it. Thank you. If you're listening to the audio podcast, which I'm going to be putting out probably in about an hour when everything registers, I appreciate you as well. Go check it out. Icarus Metro Comics, Calvin Chambers. Thank you so very much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. As always, do the best you can with what you got because it's all that you get. And it's Friday night, so go out. Hopefully you got paid. You can, get yourself a little something. Put cheese on it. You know what I'm saying? Spend that extra quarter.
Friday night.
Man, that song hits on so many levels on Friday, especially when that direct deposit hits.
Yep.
That's when that song starts being played. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Please just drink some water. Be safe. All right. Peace.
Peace.